All right, so I want to do some film on Baker, and I've been watching him throughout the season, and I've been a little pleasantly surprised. And you say, what? He's disappeared. Well, yes and no. He's become a more efficient player in the run stop, and I'll show that. But clearly the lack of big impact pressure, what he was known for, and likely what he was signed to a sizable contract for, has not been there. So I just want to go over his season with as far as the stats, and then I'll do some film. Also, the bad digit was another reason why I couldn't get to the film so much. So I'm going to get into his season, and you're going to see some very interesting things. Unfortunately, I think this does, despite growing in some areas, I think this does bode that his time in Miami is short, most likely. We'll see. All right, so his run game, run defense, and tackles. He's got 57 tackles, 39 combined, and 18 solo. Not stellar. It's like subpar, sub-average. You know, it's not bad, but tackles for loss 3, which is a little low, you know, considering you're a linebacker. Missed tackle rate is 9.5%, which is up from 7.1 in 2021, and still up from a little bit higher, 8.2 in 2023. Missed tackles, though, only total on the season. I think part of that is because he's had so little action actually in the tackle department for a linebacker. Now, his stops, which means he causes the end of a play because his tackle, his action stops the play, is 4.7%, and that's 110 out of all linebackers. Now, the interesting part where it was a validation of what I've been seeing was his average depth of tackle. It is now down to 3.2 yards, which is 21st best in the league. Now, Baker has been a chaser, dog. You know, play goes over here, he runs from sideline to sideline, makes a tackle downfield. But he's making more and more tackles close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, of all the linebackers, he's 21st. And this is a big increase from him. I still remember his absorbing the block, was it Bates from the Bills in the week 3, where he took him on and shed him and got to the running back. And it was such a good, I had never seen him do that before. So there has been some growth in his game. But we'll clearly get into the part where we all want to know about. And you'll see why he hasn't flashed. And it's not so much about him sucking, okay? Now, cover 3, his coverage is, he has 3 pass defenses. His yards per catch is down 7.3. It was like 8.5, sometimes 9.6. So that he's covering shorter zones, or the balls are getting thrown in areas where he's covering almost a full yard, yard and a half, less than what he's usually doing. Now, because it is a little shorter, it does make it easier to complete. And his completion percentage on his coverage has rose pretty steadily to 80.6, which is not good. It's only 36 targets, but his duties, I got to go see what his duties were and try to remember what they were previously. But it does look like he either A, because the defense is getting the pressure on and they have to throw shorter, or he's been given somewhat shorter assignments. Or maybe he's just faced offenses that have thrown shorter. I don't know. That's interesting, but it's still a high rate. But it's not terrible coverage. It's solid coverage. Unfortunately, for his size and his speed, you want something better than that. Now, the key is the blitzing. Now, you're going to see right here why things are the way they are. First stat, and the rest is going to be like feeding into it, okay? So, he's got 29 blitzes this season, okay? 6 games less than the rest of the seasons that I'm going to read off to you. So you're figuring 30% difference. So that should be about 52 blitzes if it paired out, you know what I'm saying, for a 16-game season. 91 blitzes last year, which is 3 times the amount of blitzes he's had this year. So you figure it's going to be around 40 or so more blitzes if everything plays out normal. The year before that, in 2020, 99. So you're talking maybe 50 more actual blitzes. 75 in 2019. So his formula for usage has dramatically changed. Is it because we lack the cornerbacks to play to zero? Is it because you have other guys there, especially now you got Chubb and you got Phillips and you're trying to get more organic four-man pass rush, or you got other guys you're trying to get in there to get that pass rush? Because a lot of times Phillips comes inside, and that used to be Baker, and you're not seeing it as much. This is a drastic change in the amount of blitzes he's getting, and you have to say, you know what? With this limited amount of snaps in your highest skill set, it's not about the player, it's about the way he's being used. And this doesn't mean that Boyer sucks. He just might have to do it for other reasons. I need to dig into the film. But clearly, Boyer has said, I want to get my pressure elsewhere. And Baker's got to play a more conventional style linebacker role. Now, knockdowns, 0 of the quarterback compared to 9 last year, 4 and 3. He's only got 2 QB hits. Sacks, 1.5, but 5.5 last year and 7.0 last year. If you build it up, he's going to, he should get around 4 maybe, which is not terribly off last year. But this stat is the stat where his impact is totally being neutered. And that's pressures. He's got 2 pressures on the season, where last year he had 18 and 15 the year before. When you get a guy who gets 5.5 sacks, 9 knockdowns, and 18 pressures, it's worth the money you paid him. Right now, he is overpaid. But clearly, this guy can do what we remember him doing. He's just not being asked to do it. Good news is he is playing the more conventional linebacker roles better than he has in the past. So take that for what you want. There you go. I'll try to get some film towards you, for you. But this is very clear that the guy's main skill set is not being utilized. Again, it does not blame Boyer, but it does give clear reason why he is kind of a bit of a ghost this year. So start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with acebread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.